Hi everyone, welcome back. So in this topic we are going to talk about Azure fundamentals. So we have to discuss with the portal how to work with, and then what are the services available in Azure and what is this Azure is all about. So all such things will be get discussed on this particular topic. So to start up with Microsoft Azure, that is at the end of this module, you'll be able to understand the fundamentals of Microsoft Azure. You will get an overview of Azure services. You will get an idea of Azure portal and its navigation. So I'll just show you how to create an account, how to work with that, how to use our inbuilt subscription which is provided to us. So all such things will be discussed here in this particular session. So before moving into this, priorly Microsoft Azure has been named as it has been introduced as Windows Azure, and it got renamed to Microsoft Azure in 2014. Just for your information. So what is this Microsoft Azure? So to start up with Microsoft Azure, it's a comprehensive cloud platform that enables solution based on individual challenges and needs with the benefits of public cloud service. Okay, simple point here is it is a cloud service provider. Simple. So cloud service provider like an Amazon, I can describe it as a growing collection of integrated cloud services that developers and IT professionals can use to build, deploy and manage application through a global network of data center. So once again, to be precise, it's a collection of data center. So this is how it starts. We'll be having one data center. Okay. So collection of such data center will be called as availability set. Collection of such availability set will be called as region. Okay, this is the order. First is the data center. Many data center together will create a availability set. Then this availability set will create a region. Okay, this is what the order is. So it's a managed through a global network of data center. So data center is going to be the least one. So collection of such data center can be called as availability sets, and such availability sets will be called as a region. We'll discuss when you proceed further. So to get started with Azure, you need to open the Microsoft Azure portal. In that Azure portal, there is an option to start free or sign in. As soon as you sign in with as a user with Microsoft account, probably with it can be a live.com, especially live.com or outlook.com or hotmail.com. So with that particular Microsoft accounts, if you log in to the Microsoft Azure for the first time, you will have an option. They will provide you a 30 days trial period, okay, with $200. So in Indian currency, it is approximately equal to 13,300 as your service credit. So to start with Azure, you need to just open azure.microsoft.com. Let me open it. So this is the official page. So when I open the Microsoft Azure.com, you will have this option called Start Free. So when you start it for free, they will give you a trial period for 1 month. In that 1 month, you can spend around, since in Indian currency it is approximately equivalent to 13,300 rupees will be provided as your service credit. With that, we can just try to learn the stuff, and if you are interested, once that it get expired, you can just try to convert that trial to a pay as you go option. Okay, in order to do this, you need to have a credit card. Why a credit card is required if it is free? In the sense, they need to just verify. They will just simply verify by doing a simple identify verification. Once you have been verified, they will take $1 and they will refund it back to you. You won't be get charged till 1 month. They'll provide you the service credit. With that service credit, we can work with the services. You can try out all those stuff, and if you are interested, then by the end of the trial, you can switch to pay as you go model. You can means it won't be automatically switched. Only if we decide to go with pay as you go model, then you can start continuing with the services. Every month they will generate the bill the way like we are paying the Vodafone bill. We'll get the bill and we need to pay it. So this is about, just a minute. So very simple. To start up, they will provide you the service credit, 1 month trial period with a credit card. You can just do this. But my advice for you all is, please don't waste this trial right now. When you need to use this in the sense, if you have enough time, for example, if you're having some 5 days continuous holidays, that's the right time. You need to create this trial, just utilize this and try to learn the Azure to the fullest. If you starting it today, and if you are in a project, this trial period will be unnecessarily wasted. Even though it is free, they are giving 13,300 rupees. For me, like it's a very vital amount. We can practice lot of things with that. So use it when you are completely free. So this is all about getting started. So you can start with the free trial itself. And if you are from Capgemini, and if you are having MSDN subscription, or if you have Visual Studio subscription, with that Visual Studio also we get an option to work with Microsoft Azure. To do that, it's very simple. I'm just showing you how to do that. If you are having Visual Studio subscription, those who have installed with Visual Studio licensed version in your system, in your laptops, that people can use the VS subscription. To do that, you need to type portal.azure.com. When you type portal.azure.com, it will ask you to sign into Microsoft Azure. I'm just going to sign it with my Capgemini email ID. Since I'm having Visual Studio subscription, not only me, everyone who is having Visual Studio, they all can log in using their Capgemini email ID. Don't go with your GE email ID and all those stuff. Try with Capgemini Gmail ID if you have Visual Studio subscription. Once you have the Visual Studio subscription, if you are having it, you can see as soon as you log in this, you can type in the search resources, simply type subscriptions. When I open the subscription, you people can see I'm having the Visual Studio Professional subscription, which is provided by my Capgemini. Okay, so every month they will credit 3,200 rupees for you. With that 3,200, you can practice the Microsoft Azure. If suppose you are not seeing this, then you need to enable it. How to enable it? It's very simple. Just click this add button. Okay, under the subscription, this is the search resource. There you need to type subscription. As soon as you type, you will get this screen. Once you have the screen, just check for your Visual Studio. If it is not there, just try to click add. When you click add, it will show you all the way you can establish the subscriptions. I'll just show you. So it will show you a screen where you can add the subscriptions. Those who have Visual Studio licensed version, but still you cannot see, that means you can see here at least something called Visual Studio. You need to just select that and press OK, so that right now here, since I have already subscribed, I won't get that option. I'm having this pay as you go. This is the monthly you need to pay. If you want, you can enable this subscription as well. And pay as you go, dev test, developer support, professional direct support, standard support, and all the stuff is there, right? So similarly, you can see with some icons other than this pay as you go, dev with test. Look at this symbol. If you see such symbol with Visual Studio, it means that you have not utilized the subscription which has been provided to you. You have wasted the money so far. So please don't waste it. If you see such thing, just click. When you click that, it will ask you to fill the details. Especially you need to know your PAN card. Your PAN card detail needs to be provided with your Capgemini email ID. when you fill that form, when you submit it, as soon as you submit, you will get this subscription, Visual Studio Professional subscription. So see here, like I have logged in, I have just opened the Visual Studio. In the Visual Studio, you can see there is a small icon here. Click, not this one, it will show here actually. Wait. Yes. So I have logged in as Karthik Muthukrishnan. So when I expand this, you can see this particular Visual Studio has been provided with a license to me. This is Visual Studio Professional license I'm having. So since I have this with Capgemini.com, those who have this with Capgemini.com, they have monthly 3,200 credits. Every month you will be credited with 3,200 and you can practice with Azure portal. So those who have this, check going into the portal.azure.com, type subscription. Oh, I am not sharing the screen, just a minute. Wait a minute. Sorry, I'll just repeat it once again. See here, I have opened the Microsoft Visual Studio. In that Microsoft Visual Studio, you people can see this. I have signed in as Karthik Muthukrishnan. So when I expand it, you can see I have signed in with karthik.muthukrishnan@capgemini.com. That is the license provided by the Capgemini. So if I'm having this, I'm making it clear, don't try it with your client account and say that it is getting charged. For Capgemini.com, we have the option of getting a free credit of 3,200 per month. So once you can see this, then you can go to the portal.azure.com. Just open portal.azure.com. In the subscription, when you type subscription, you can see that when you click this, check for the subscriptions. If it says that there is no subscription, means you can add that subscription. To add the subscription, click the add button. So these are all the, wait. So these are all the subscriptions left for me. I'm not interested in pay as you go and pay as you go dev test. If I have not subscribed with my Visual Studio Professional, I will get this one here once again, a Visual Studio Professional. Just I need to click and need to fill the detail. It will ask you the PAN card number. Once you submit, you will get that subscription here. So I got that subscription. So through that subscription, every month you will get 3,200 in your credit. So this is the way you need to have the enable the subscription, and you can even try with pay as you go option. Pay as you go, for practice purpose, it won't take that much money, but still each and every minute if you use that, it will be debited from your credit card. If the free trial is over and if you are going with the pay as you go, it will be debited from your account. So for practice purpose, I personally feel that don't use the pay as you go option. If there is a free trial or with Capgemini subscription, you can just try this out. Okay, this is all about how to get started with Azure, and we are discussing about the Azure data centers, right? I told you that we have the data center. Wait a minute. This is the lowest one, or so data center, Azure data center. So Azure data center means a place where we have a rack of system like this, and like this many data centers. If you have many data center, it can comprise that, we can comprise it to availability set. So it's a collection. Availability sets is nothing but a collection of Azure data centers, and collections of such availability sets will be called as a region. So each and every available set, probably it might be 3 to 4 data center can be there. So 3 to 4 availability set can comprise together and called as a region. So what is the difference between this availability set and region, we'll explore. But before moving into that, as of now, Azure is having around 50 regions. There are around 50 regions are there. Let me just show that screen. So you can see that 50 Azure regions, more than any cloud provider. Especially in India, we have 3 regions: West India, Central India and South India. So South India region might have many availability sets, and one availability set will have many data centers. So what is region? Region is a set of availability set within a latency defined perimeter and connected through a dedicated regional low latency network. Means if I say West India will be having many availability set. All the availability sets or zones or availability zones, I'll just say that better, I'll give that availability zone instead of availability set. So one Azure data in availability zone, we might have multiple data centers. So they are all connected with network, with like intranet. Okay, one availability is one data center, like 2 data centers are there, means they will be connected to each other like a intranets. And such availability zones will be there for the regions. So but regions needs to be considered like an island. Regions are not connected. Zone within a region share a LAN. I'll just make it clear. So in this, we'll be having multiple zones, right? So zones within a region share the LAN. So when it is sharing the LAN, low latency, private IP access, many things will be there. Like it will get these features: private IP access. It is like an intranet. So private IP access, and to connect between the availability zone, it is low latency, high bandwidth will be there. But when I talk about regions, it is like an island. Which share no resources. Means if I say South India is a region, Central India is another region, they cannot share the resources. So this is a separate island and that is a separate island. So if you want to connect, that's what they used to say, if you are creating the resources, create all the resources in the same region so that it will be the private IP access can be there. Otherwise, South India, if I want to connect it with Central India, then it needs to be done through a public IP access. So guys, very simple. Data centers within a region or within the availability set have the private IP access, where regions are considered as an island. One region cannot share the resource with another region. So like this, Azure is having around 50 regions, more than any cloud provider. I can say that it is growing like anything. They are coming up with lot of announced region. For example, in this particular PPT has been created in 2017, last year. At that time, they told that they are going to create the region in South Africa North and South Africa West. By this time, it would have been created. And similarly, in UAE also they want to create. So regions will be keep on growing. So they are the highest regions. So each and every region has multiple data centers connected with low bandwidth, high bandwidth and low latency private IP access. Okay, so this is about the data center and regions. As I told to you, confidence. So why I need to choose Azure when we have AWS or Google Cloud means this is a reason. It is having more than 70 compliance. So these are all the top compliance like ISO is there, CGI is there, IRS 1075 compliance. So many such compliances is having so that we can trust this. So it is a very trusted CSP, cloud service provider. And the benefits of Microsoft Azure Cloud or by Microsoft Azure, they are very simple. It's reliable and secure. We can quickly and easily deploy it. Pay only for what you use. Flexible and scalable. Worldwide we have data centers, unlimited storage and capacity. But more than all those things, I'll say that it is very easy to understand. It is not very complicated like other CSPs, because the documentation part of this Azure or the hands-on or the learning resources provided by Microsoft Azure is simply awesome. Without a trainer assistance, if you go through the learning path, you can learn the Microsoft Azure on your own. In that way they have provided it. So then why you need to attend this session? This session is going to provide you the option of, or I'm going to unreveal you with all the facilities provided by Microsoft Azure, so that you people can learn more and more on this particular platform. So I personally believe in 70-20-10 training model. 70-20-10 training model says that, like, as a trainer I can just give 10% from my side. Like as an instructor, I can just show you the route path. Then as a learner, you need to learn the 20% on your own by just going through the portal. Lot of learning resources are there. We have MOOCs, we have the Pluralsight, we have many such things are available. You can learn, but the next 70% you are going to learn in the on-job training. When you are into the project, you will be learning more. Okay, so as a facilitator, I'm just facilitating you. So Microsoft Azure is going to fill that 20% gap. You can learn many things on the job training, as well as not 90% can be, because the hands-on is such a clear way with step-by-step tutorials they have provided. You people can learn most out of that by just going to the documentation part. Here I'm going to show you all the resources to enrich your knowledge in Microsoft Azure after this session as well. So these are all the benefits of going with Microsoft Azure, and that learning path is very clear when compared to other cloud service providers. Okay, and many roles are there. Like for each and every role, they have clearly configured it. Okay, these are all the ways you need to learn. I'll just show you later. So these are all the benefits of Microsoft Azure. We have seen the benefits of Microsoft Azure. So when you're talking about Azure services, so it provides a lot of services. In fact, when I was preparing this PPT, it provides around 89 main services are there. Like storage based services they provide, network services they provide, compute service, app service, database service. Like this, we have many services. For our development purpose, I'm just going to pick up, or I'm going to discuss about the services which is available under this category. So there are a lot of other categories as well. I'll just show that categories to you. Like I'm just going to all services in the portal.azure.com. I have clicked all service. You can see the categories. So DevOps, when I click DevOps, these are all the services provided for DevOps. And for AI and machine learning, these are all the services has been provided. And when it comes to web, these are all the web related services. This is the network related services. This is storage related services. So at the time of recording, I said when I created the PPT, there was 89, but now it is more. So compute, networking, storage, web, mobile, container services, databases services, Internet of Things, integration, identity service, security service, many such services are there. Okay, so I'm not going to get into this each and every service and make you understand this. I'm going to take you some important service and explain this. So the remaining services you people can try it on your own, or if you are interested, especially if you are people from analytics, like you can see Azure Databricks, like SAP, or if you belong to big data, that sort of people can just go through this Power BI, data lake analytics, event hubs, many such things are there. You people can try it out, but for .NET developer, we are not going to concentrate on this part. Okay, so these are all the services available, and in my PPT, I have just listed out some of the important services like Azure storage services. Mean these are all the services available, and what is that? So you people can just go through that later when I share this PPT. So these are the network services. These are all the compute services and database services and app services. You people can just go through this PPT later. Security, monitoring, and then we are moving into our Azure portal. So now we are going to see how to navigate or how to work with Azure portal. What are all the things available in Azure portal? Because most of the stuff, it's going to act like a interface for us to connect with the cloud resources, and the Azure portal helps us to view and manage all of our application in a single unified hub. So let me just open that. To open that, you need to go for portal.azure.com. So when you open portal.azure.com, whether you have subscription, whether you don't have subscription, it will try to take our Capgemini single sign-on option and take you to this page. Once you are going into this page, you should not come to a conclusion that yes, I can work with Microsoft Azure. It's not like that. After opening this portal.azure.com, okay, you need to have a subscription. So with any user ID, any Microsoft ID, you can log in into this particular screen. But in order to practice here, or in order to work with the resources under that portal, you need to have a subscription. So to check for the subscription, just type subscriptions and check. If it shows some subscription, then you people are allowed to work with the resources under this Microsoft Azure portal. Otherwise you can't. Right now I have been subscribed to my Visual Studio Professional, so I can work with that. So this is your portal. So portal.azure.com. In portal.azure.com, I told you that there are a lot of services available. So you can see that, like, I have been credited with 2868.43 credit remaining. Every month they will provide us 3200 for Visual Studio subscription. You people can practice. So in this, I told you there are a lot of services. How to access all the services means, in the left hand side navigation, you people can see all service option. When I click all services, you can see all the services provided by Microsoft Azure. And this is a place where you can see all the services at once. And whichever service you are frequently using, you can just bookmark it. For example, I want this subscription. I want to see every time this subscription. So I have bookmarked it. I have made it as my favorite. So if I just remove that, it won't be there. And if I click the star, you can see that it will be immediately available for us. So you can get all the services, and whichever services you feel you are going to use frequently, make it as your favorite so that it will be available in the left hand side. Okay. And there is a icon called notification icon. You can see that notification icon. So this notification icon will show the notifications, any sort of notification. For example, if I create a virtual machine, it will say it is creating. Once it is created, it will show it has been already created, and it will show the notifications like how much credit is remaining. Many such things will be shown here. It's a notification icon. And you can see a small gear icon. This icon is used to show the portal to customize the portal settings. For example, when I click this, you can see some options like log me out when inactive. If I'm inactive for 15 minutes, it will automatically log out from this one, but I have set it to never. And choose your default view, how you want. I have selected my dashboard option, but there is an option called home. When I just select that, right now I am in the dashboard, so let it be in the dashboard. So in the dash, I'll show you what is dashboard later. And I can even choose a theme, whichever theme you like. According to me, this is the best theme, and there are a lot of other themes available. So I'm using the theme, and we have in this theme itself, we can just select the high contrast theme. Many such themes are there. I can go and toast notification. So what is a toast notification means? Every time when the resource is getting created, it will just open a toast. In that toast, it will try to show the notification stating that it has been credited. Oh, sorry, it has been created. The resource has been successfully created, or the resource has been successfully deleted. Not only with the notification, I will get a toast notification as well. If you don't want that, you can disable it. So these are all the portal settings that you can set. And you can see there is a search bar. So using this search bar, I can search any resources, services, and documents. So you can search for resources, services, or documents. For example, I just want to, I told you that I want to find out marketplace. So I can just simply type market. So you can see that there is a service called marketplace service. So this marketplace is very much similar like our Play Store. So when I click marketplace, it is like a Play Store. It will display. This is where all the third-party people will put their applications. For example, I want to get the mission with Visual Studio. So I can just search for Visual Studio and search it. It will show, and you can see these are all the options. So I can go with the Visual Studio community editions. So look at this. These are all the community edition. Community means it's free. Whereas if I go for enterprise, it will provide you the VM. In that VM, Visual Studio Enterprise 2017 would have been installed already. But when you open that, it will try to ask you the license, right? Because it is licensed one. So you need to just provide the license. So like this, we can just search for anything. You can try, for example, I'm just saying virtual machine. When I type virtual machine, it will just filter the virtual machines and some products for virtual machine, and you can see if there is any resources that will be displayed, which I have created. So far I don't have any such things. And in the documentation, you can see there are a lot of documentation related to that particular keyword. Almost 1000+ results are there related to the virtual machines. That's why I said it is the best way, best service provider, because their documentation is awesome. You can just search for anything and you can learn everything on your own by just using this search option. So this is all about the search. And we have the portal help. We have the question mark, which is called as a portal help. When I click, it will just give you what's new, Azure roadmap, the keyboard shortcuts to work with this Azure portal, and what are all the support if you want to raise a ticket. Okay, if you have any problems, if you want to raise a ticket, you can just click that help and support. So such things can be done with the help of this portal. And the next one is you can just provide your feedback. Then we have this dashboard I told you, right? Like in the left hand side navigation, you can see dashboard. So when I click the dashboard, it shows my dashboard. So in this dashboard, I can just, if I want to edit my dashboard, just click that edit button. When I click the edit, it will show you all the gadgets. Like I want the clock gadgets, I have already placed it. Like there are many such gadgets are there. Like I want to have marketplace as itself as a gadget. So when I click that, it will directly take me to that marketplace. For example, I don't want the time, I removed it, and now I'm going to add that gadget. So click clock and just place that, and you can configure that. So done. So this is my dashboard. So like this, we can just have some 25 tiles are there. You can just pick up any such things like I want the search every time, or ARM action, security, quick start and tutorials. Look at this. So I'm just having the availability. You can configure this tile with whatever availability. I'm just providing the Visual Studio subscription. All the resources. So these are all the stuff, and I just want to select application insight. I think I'll get back to that topic later. So like this, we can have multiple tiles. Like this, I have created one dashboard. We can create multiple dashboards like this, and we can just select whichever dashboard you want. For example, when I select VM dashboard, this is what my VM dashboard. When I just select my dashboard, this is how my dashboard looks. So this is all about editing the Azure dashboard. And when you are going for the Azure navigation, it will navigate via blades. For example, I'm just going to click up a service called free service. Okay, let me just simply, I'll explain what is this free service. When I click create, not this one, like probably I'll go with monitor. Okay, you can see that here you can see a blade. This is one blade. In that, once again, when I click metrics will be opened in another blade. In that, once again, when I click select a resource, another blade. So the panel which is getting opened, they are called as blades. So Azure portal navigation is done via the blades, so that it will be easy for you to navigate. So I can see that from where it is coming. So when I click new chart, once again another, when I click filter and split, okay, it's going to a new window. But if it is opening in the same window, they used to call that as a blades. And already we have discussed about the marketplace. It is very much similar like our Play Store, where you can just go ahead and use that. Take the products. Just a minute. Sorry. So where you can just go ahead and use the products, or take the product, anything. For example, I just want to get Linux. Red Hat Linux means I can just go there and type Red Hat. You will get it. Or I want to see MariaDB. See that? MariaDB. And Ubuntu. When I type Ubuntu with different servers. SQL Server 2017 on Ubuntu. So like this, we can just get the resources, and I can pick up the products that can be used with our Microsoft Azure, will be displayed in this marketplace. Then the next one will go with the subscription details. So as I click the subscription, you can see my subscription is Visual Studio Professional subscription. So currently I have used around 531 rupees in this month so far. With the 531, I have done 2 trainings. So when I click this Visual Studio Professional, once again it will be open in the blade, and I want to just see how much I have spent. Cost by resource. So I have created a Linux virtual machine, and I think I have used this for a long time. It cost around 133 rupees, and I have created one container, and I have created a sample DB database which cost around, so it gives a complete information. So from the dates, it will give you which dates. So we'll get that a complete notification. Okay. Okay. So like this, we have the subscription details. So we'll get the complete subscription details in the portal, and there is an option called free services. So what does this free services means? Like I told you that we can go with pay as you go option, right? Or you can go with the free trial. When you go for the free trial, they will provide a service credit of around $200 or 13,300 rupees for you for 1 month trial period. If you complete the trial period, or if you exhausting all the, if you spend all the money within 2 days, then still you are eligible for 12-month services for free. These are all some of the important things. So I can use, after the trial is getting completed also, you can use 750 hours of Windows Virtual Machine, and there are some free services which is always free. See that? These are all the free things. So I can just use Face API for 30,000 transactions per month. For 12 months, you can just always free. It is available for you even after the trial expires. So this is about the free services. Then when it comes to development, since this particular session is all about development, right? So when it comes to development, so whatever I have discussed, it will be there in the PPT: notification icon, portal settings, Azure search, portal help, how to edit the Azure dashboard, portal navigations, then marketplace, subscription details you can get, and you can see that chart, Azure free services. When it comes to Azure development, what I'm trying to say here is there are a lot of options are there for development, especially they are providing some tools. First tool is Visual Studio tool. Visual Studio, you all know, it is a licensed one, and if you're going with community, there is no need to buy that, but community edition cannot be used in Capgemini. You need to have a licensed version. In your home, if you want to practice, or if you are a single developer works in a home, you can use community edition. Since we are in a MNC, we need to get the licensed one for Visual Studio. So Visual Studio is integrated IDE. With that, we can do lot of things for Azure. Like I can very easily deploy the application. There are a lot of features available when you are using the Visual Studio. If you are not interested to use Visual Studio, then I am having another option called Visual Studio Code. This Visual Studio Code also created by Microsoft, but it is free. It's completely free. With the editors, we can create the web application. It is like Eclipse. It is like Eclipse, completely like an Eclipse. Whatever in Eclipse, what we do, we can create Java applications, right? So similarly, using Visual Studio Code, not only .NET application, we can create Node.js application, Python application, we can create C# application, ASP.NET web application, anything can be created. Not only restricted to Microsoft, even Java applications can be created. And there are some SDKs, server development kits are available. You can just download that. For example, if you want to do the development with Azure, you need to download the Azure SDK for your specific language, .NET or Java or Node.js or Python or Go. SDKs are available, you can download and use it. And we have the command line interface called Azure CLI or PowerShell command mode. With this also we can use to work with the resources. For example, if I want to create a Azure virtual machine, you can use a portal to do that, or else you can use the SDK. Through .NET programming, I can create a virtual machine, or else using the PowerShell commandlet. PowerShell also we can do, and in fact, the Azure itself has provided one Azure CLI. Let me just show that to you. You can see this option here called Cloud Shell. So when I click this Cloud Shell, it will open. Here itself we can type the Azure CLI commands to do the same thing whatever we have done with the portal. Okay, so many such options are there. So, and there also they have provided the RESTful services. If I want to create a virtual machine, that virtual machine, I am not interested to provide my portal detail, but I want to use it, I want to create it via a Windows application. In the window application, by a button click, I want to create it, means there are two options are there for you. You can either go with the native SDKs, or otherwise with the RESTful APIs also. No need to install the SDK at all. Simply use the RESTful services provided by the Azure. Programmatically you can create the resources. So such options are there. This is all about the Azure developer tools. Then As a summary, Microsoft Azure is an open, flexible, enterprise-grade cloud computing platform. It gives customers the flexibility to deploy the application where they need to by providing more global regions than any other cloud provider. Using Azure Portal, you can view and manage. So it's a portal, it's a unified hub, and you can just use it with, there are more blades, services, many such things are very easily available for us, and it is very easy to understand that portal. Azure Marketplace is the premier destination for all your software needs, which is certified and optimized to run on Azure. It is like our Android Play Store. Azure CLI is Microsoft cross-platform command line interface for managing the Azure resources. PowerShell is also there. With the PowerShell commandlets also we can manage our Azure resources, or with the REST API also we can manage the Azure resources programmatically. No need to install any SDKs. So this is all about the Azure fundamentals. Okay, let me stop the recording.